Welcome to the Boss Gambling Show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Week 10 over-unders to bet. Let's get this money. We have been riding this wave of the totals this year, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. Let's get to the first game. We're going to Maryland. We got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Baltimore Ravens. Over, under 53. I'm going under. 53 is absolutely outrageous for a Thursday night game. I wish we could get into the fundamentals. I wish we could talk the schematics of this game. But when I look at Thursday night football, there's a few things I think of. I think of tired players. I think of pre-motion penalties. I think of false starts. I think of 1st and 15s. 1st and 20s, and I think that keeps down the scoring. This is also a division game. This is also an Alamo situation for the Cincinnati Bengals. And I've been telling you guys all year, there's two elite offenses in this league. You could put the Lions in this group, but it's the Ravens, it's the Commanders. But even with that being said, we know the Bengals defense can't stop anyone. I think the Thursday night doldrums keep this under the 53. Next game, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Washington No Names. Over, under 45 and a half. Money, money, money. Money over. Make it a damn money pick. Listen, there's one I put on Discord that is a total that I like better. But if we're going the full game and we're attacking this market, I'm going to go over. I think the Steelers defense is overrated. I think Jalen Daniels is actually underrated, as crazy as it seems. I absolutely love the schematics of this Cliff Kingsbury offense. They run it good. They use play action good. And did I mention that Jalen Daniels is absolutely cooking? On the other side, we got a Commanders defense that they are quick. They are versatile. You add Lattimore to their Achilles heel, which is their secondary. Okay, great. But I also think the Steelers will be able to run the ball this game. And I'm not the biggest Russell Wilson guy, but I see like a 27-20 game, 27-23 game here. I'm going over, make it a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Buffalo Bills at the Indianapolis Colts. Over, under 46 and a half. Under. I don't like this Colts offense. And Flacco, the story was cute, but it's just not the same thing we've seen from the Browns. And we got a Bills defense that needs to respond. They were absolutely hapless, unprepared, and undercoached against the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins were able to run it on them. But also, I don't know if the Colts are going to get the run game going like everyone thinks. Look at these stats. I'm not a big stat guy, but this backs up what I'm seeing on film. With Flacco under center, they averaged 3.3 yards per carry. With AR under center, they averaged 5.2. I think that's a big enough difference, and I think this Bills defense responds. Colts defense does seem to be playing better ball, and we know this Bills offense is due for a turnover, even though Josh Allen might be playing the best and also, dare I say it, safest football of his career. I think the Bills run the ball very well this game, kill some clock. I'm going under the 46 and a half. Next game, we got the Minnesota Vikings, my Minnesota Vikings, at the Jacksonville Jags. Over, under 45. I'm going over. But there isn't a lot of science here. You wonder what Jags offense you'll see. The last 4 weeks, the Jags offense does seem to be trending in the right direction. I just don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball. If they're able to run the ball, I think they can be a dance partner in this game. And dare I say, maybe surprise some people in this game. And this Jags defense is trending in the right direction. I don't look at that scoreline against the Eagles, but I felt like that Jags defense put up a valiant effort, and it was probably their best effort of the year. Not that that's saying much, but we do got a Vikings offense that is explosive, and I think they're going to keep getting more explosive, even though Sam Darnold does seem to be falling off. I'm going over 45, and not a lot of science here, guys. Next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles Hurts at the Dallas Cowboys. Them boys over under 42. Money, money, money. Money, you say Cooper Rush, I say the under. That's what we're doing here. And yes, I get it. This Eagles offense is playing phenomenal football. They're getting back to what they did 2 years ago. They're run first, play action, Hurt stretching you down the field and going for the jugular. Everyone was against Nick Sirianni, and I sat here and told you he had this locker room, and you see it with the effort. You see it with how expansive this offense gets. But I just don't think this Eagles defense is getting enough credit. Their front seven is playing very well against the run, and their secondary seems to be trending in the right direction. And we got a Cowboys team. Listen, Cooper Rush isn't that bad of a backup quarterback. He gets a full week to prepare. He's going to look better than he did against Atlanta. Okay, great. But there is limits to what he can do, and CD Lamb is questionable in this game. I'm going under the 42. Make it a damn money pick. I see a washout for the Eagles. I see like a 27-7 type scoreline. Next game, we're going to Germany. A bratwurst. We got the New York Giants at the Carolina Panthers. Over, under 41.5. I'm going under. Man, you don't know. Like, you could see how this game could turn into a shootout, especially since normally if the surface is slick, which it normally is in international games, that favors the offense and can lead to a shootout. But I'm going under. Daniel Jones, Bryce Young. Do I need to go on a long diatribe? Next game, NFC South. We got the Atlanta Falcons at the New Orleans Saints. Over, under 46.5. I'm going the over here because I think the Falcons can get into the 30s. And I do think Carr responds, and he's got a good matchup. We know the Saints offensive line is absolutely struggling. They can't block anyone. But this Falcons front four, they're not getting a lot of pressure. They need a blitz to get pressure. Maybe that can open things up for Carr. Maybe there is a new coach bounce that can maybe propel this offense. But this is more about a Saints defense that is beaten down. They're looking decrepit. They're looking old. And this is a Falcons offense that is playing very good ball right now. I'm going over the 46.5. It is a little bit high when you factor in the Saints offense and the way they're playing, but I think Atlanta picks up the slack. Next game, we got the New England Patriots at the Chicago Bears. The Bears over under 39. I'm going over, but not a lot of science here. I think this front seven of the Bears is quite overrated. They don't get a great pass rush. They're not great against the run. The secondary is very good, but one thing Drake May has shown is he can buy time and he can make plays. He looks more comfortable than Caleb Williams. He simply looks better than Caleb Williams. He simply plays with more confidence and verb than Caleb Williams. And the reason why this isn't a money pick, man, I've been telling you guys, this Patriots defense isn't your Patriots defense of years previous. They're poorly coached. They don't get a pass rush. But can Caleb Williams exploit that? I don't know, man. He's playing at such a low confidence level, and he's so inaccurate that you can't bet it. And you look at Caleb Williams, My big question is, why does he hold the ball so long? Like, there's open guys. This Bears supporting cast is very good. Where's Cole Kmet? Where's Moore? Why aren't they getting the ball more? I'm going over the 39. Not a lot of science here because we don't know if Caleb Williams is going to do the same things Drake May is able to do. Next game, we're going to Florida. We got the San Francisco 49ers at the Tampa Bay Bucs. Over, under, 50.5. I'm going under. I get the temptation to want to go over in any games involving this Bucs defense. I mean, Todd Bowles, we saw the mistakes he made as a coach with the game management against the Chiefs. It was absolutely shameful. He needs to go read a book about game theory. I know Todd Bowles knows schemes, but that was absolutely pathetic and a lesson of how not to manage a game. But with that being said, I do think the Bucs defense responds a little bit, but the Shanahan offense will be fierce and they will have a little bit of a boost with Christian McCaffrey coming back. But the big factor in this game is 49ers defense off a bye week. I think the Buccaneers are going to have some problems with them. And I think this 49ers defense will have some answers for Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, Cohen, and this offense and this run game have been absolutely phenomenal. They have fought valiantly, but at a certain point, I felt like last week was their Alamo. And now it's time for them to lay down. And we see a 49ers special, a 49ers extrapolation incoming. I'm going under the 50.5. I see like a 27-20 game. Give me the 49ers. Next game, we got the New York Jets at the Arizona Cardinals. Over, under, 46. Money, money, money. Money. I absolutely love the over. And it is dangerous. Maybe it should be a borderline money pick because you have a Jets offense that we've seen some great things from them, but we've also seen some catastrophic mistakes from them. And it seems like every time they start getting a little bit of rhythm, they take 2 steps forward, but they take 3 steps back. That's what we saw the whole year. But I think this mini bye week after the Thursday night game will benefit them severely. And I think they match up good. And this Cardinals defense is well coached. We got to give John Gannon a little bit of credit, Mr. Pew, Pew, Pew. We got to give him a lot of credit for the way he coaches this team. But they're still limited talent-wise. They don't rush the passer all that great. And I think the Achilles heel of this defense is the secondary. And I think another week of Devontae, of Garrett Wilson together with Lazard coming back from the injured list will just be too much. And we'll see Aaron Rodgers cook. On the other side, what do the Jets do bad on defense? They're not great at stopping the run. Houston showed it, but it's been a problem all year. I think the Cardinals get the running game going, and we see the contrast with the Cardinals. If James Conner gets going, Kyler Murray gets going, and then they move the ball, I think this game can turn into a shootout. I actually like the all over in this because if the game flow goes the way I think it does, I think I see like a 30-27 victory for the Jets. I think this is going to go way over. But like I said, you have to protect yourself because we don't know if this Jets team is going to completely lay an egg. I mean, Davante Adams said it all, guys. He said sometimes this team just lacks energy and will. We saw them have will and energy in the second half against the Texans. What did they do in the first half? They couldn't get out of their own way. I'm going over the 46.5, making a money pick, but just be cautious with this. But everything is setting up perfectly for a damn money pick. Next game, we got the Tennessee Titans at the Los Angeles Chargers. Over, under, 38. I'm going under, but this one's really tough because this Titans defense is good and all their metrics are good, but I do feel like they're wearing down. But I think the big factor in this game is the Chargers defense. I just can't see Tennessee running the ball against the Chargers front seven. I mean, there's way better offensive lines that have had themselves a struggle session against the physicality that is this Chargers front seven. And it doesn't seem like this Chargers team is going to let up. And when you talk about preparation, one of the most prepared teams in this league week to week is your Los Angeles Chargers, coached by Harbaugh. One of the worst coached teams in this league with the Seattle Seahawks is Callahan's Titans. And I'm not sure there's going to be an answer. And I'm not sure if the Titans go back to pass. You can take advantage of the Chargers secondary, but you also have to block Mack. You have to block Bosa. And this Titans offensive line, I think they're worse at pass blocking than the New England Patriots. And that's saying a hell of a lot, guys. It's saying a lot. That's why I'm going under the 38. It's really low, especially the way Herbert's playing right now. But to go over, you also need a dance partner. You need someone to salsa with. And this Tennessee offense has two left feet. Next game, we got the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. Over, under 41.5. I'm going under, but there's no science here because I know everyone wants to think this Chiefs offense belongs in the elite category. And I know everyone wants to put this Broncos defense in the elite category. I told you last week, Ravens team total. But I do think this is a divisional matchup. I do think this is an ugly game. The main reason why I think I'm tailing the under is because this Broncos offense just doesn't have enough targets. And when you got Chris Jones in the middle of that defense, can the Broncos run the ball? The Broncos offense is at their best when Sean Payton is able to get Williams going in the backfield. I just can't see that happening. Maybe Bo Nix is able to run it. But other than that, I'm not seeing a lot of offense in terms of the Broncos. And we're seeing a Chiefs defense. This might be their best defense. Even after losing L'Jarius Sneed, this might be the best Chiefs defense of the Reid Mahomes era. I'm going under the 41.5. Like I said, not a lot of science. You do feel like this Chiefs offense is like that animal ready to bust out of the zoo and go ape shit. But I just can't bet that. And I think this Denver Broncos defense responds after getting embarrassed by Lamar Jackson. Next game, we got the Detroit Lions. Get on Patreon, link in the description. We got the Detroit Lions at the Houston Texans. Over, under 49. Money. Borderline money pick. Borderline. I'm going under. And I get the scenario where this can turn into a shootout. You got Stroud versus Goff. The Lions have the best run game in the league. I don't care what the stats say. And you got a Texans team that needs to respond. They have the 10-day mini bye. Maybe their offensive line can get better. I do think this Detroit defense is a little bit overrated, and I'm the biggest Detroit guy there is. I do think they're overrated, but I do think this is going to be a playoff type game. I do think the Texans are going to be a run first team in this game. And is that the way to attack Detroit's defense? Not really. I think you have to air it out against their heavy press man-to-man. Nico Collins back certainly adds a little verb to this over, but I do think this is a playoff type atmosphere. I do think this is an extremely physical team. And besides the interior of this offensive line, I feel like the Texans are a team that can match the Lions' physicality, and that's the main thing you need to do. On the other side, I like this Texans front seven in terms of run fits and stopping the run. I feel like they will be healthier this week, and it should help. That's the big matchup. If the Texans stop the Lions' run or at least limit them to 85, 100 yards and don't let them go wild, I think their secondary can deal with Detroit's wide receivers and keep this game close. I'm going under the 49, borderline money pick. Last game, we got the Miami Dolphins at the Los Angeles Rams. Over, under 50. I'm going over, but it's tough to go over after watching the Rams offense. And then after watching that Rams defense, particularly their front four with Frisk, with Verse, and how good they played. And we know Miami's got weakness at the offensive line, but I felt like Mike McDaniel finally found a potion, a coefficient to deal with it against the Bills. But I'm going over here because I think the Dolphins offense can push to the 27-30 point. And it seems like when the Rams need to put up points, they always have an answer. And this Dolphins defense, I've been saying they're underrated the whole year. But a big issue with them is they're not able to get a pass rush without blitzing. Like Anthony Weaver, the defensive coordinator, is taking a ton of criticism. But at a certain point, people have to win battles. Defensive ends have to have better rushes. And if you have to blitz to get pressure every time, that leaves your defense exposed. I'm going over the 50. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. The best gambling show on the internet. Share the damn videos. I love you guys. Total bros. It's been a fun year so far. Let's keep getting these over under.